What is up, my fellow golf ball addicts? Welcome back to the channel. We are continuing on with the PXG that we had last time. Now we are doing the new X model, which is actually a brand new model for 2024. Let's dive right in. Guys, if you love non-biased golf ball content, please subscribe to the channel, like, comment, really appreciate it. We also do have a membership that just starts at $1 a month. We really appreciate your love and support. You guys are the best. So the PXG X, okay, so we reviewed the sophomore effort of the regular PXG Xtreme Tour. Really good ball. I mean, that's all there is to it. Really good ball, a lot of great things, a lot of improvements made. I think PXG is heading down a line of really being able to make a name for themselves, and I love what they do. We talked in the last video about how they support veterans and first responders and now teachers. They offer them a sizable discount. You can get these golf balls that are normally $49.99 a dozen for actually $44.99 a dozen if you're one of those heroes that they talk about, which is really cool. But also the buy two, get one free that they are running and have been running for a while now, that includes that. So you can actually buy two at $44.99 if you're a hero and then get that third one free. And so for $90, you can get 3 dozen golf balls. That's just incredible. I love what PXG is doing. It's great marketing. This is the X model. So what that means is that this is going to be the firmer. It's designed to have a little bit more spin, get higher up in the air, be comparable to like a Pro V1X, basically. That's what they're going after. They want to go after the Pro V1 kind of like everyone else does, let's be honest. That's just how it is at this point. So this is their version to compare to the Pro V1X, whereas definitely the PXG Xtreme Tour Regular definitely more compares to the Pro V1. So a couple other things real quick that PXG mentions is they do recommend this golf ball for a 95 mile per hour swinger or higher. They also recommend the regular, of course, for under 95 mile per hour. I would definitely challenge that for the regular Xtreme Tour. I feel like it's more around the 100. And that's usually how it goes on Golf Ball Addict. I'm a firm believer that you need to play a little bit softer of a golf ball. It adds some forgiveness in there. That way, if you're not a scratch golfer, you can actually have a little bit of forgiveness on your miss hits, both with side spin and lost distance. And so I know they recommend 95 mile an hour. I'm definitely going to say more of a 100 mile an hour for sure. I felt like at 100 mile per hour, I was able to use it, but it was borderline. Well, the X model now comes in and it says 95 above. I'm going to go ahead and guess that's probably not the case, but we will find out in the testing as well. It's a 3-piece urethane golf ball. Also, it does say that it does feel firmer. It is supposed to be faster off the club. So that's good to see too. I'll kind of try to put that box up there if you can see it. It's supposed to be faster off the club. It's supposed to have more spin. It's supposed to have more, penetrating high flight. That's what we have here. Let's go ahead and get into the design of the golf ball. So we talked about it with the regular PXG that it has a really cool logo. This is like a Top Gun inspired logo. It looks really cool. Now they put that red one on there, and I like the red one. It looks really good up against the black. It's just a greatly designed logo. If you come around here on the side, you can see it says Xtreme Tour X, which is awesome because it's a really simplistic, classy alignment tool. I can see it. I can line my ball up. That perpendicular line right there that they come across, that's really cool too because now you can line the face of your putter up. And I never realized how much that helps until I started putting with balls like this. And really, I thought it was awesome. I mean, I think that's a greatly designed ball. It feels and looks premium. You feel it. You think, yep, this is expensive. And that's how it should be with that price point of $49.99, which again, $49.99, not a great price. Buy two, get one free, that's a good price. Heroes discount plus buy two, get one free. So it's weird because this golf ball either is a terrible value or it's the best value I can think of. And so that's quite the extreme formality, so I guess it's just going to depend on the person. All right, let's go ahead and get out to the chipping and putting green and let's see how we do around there. All right, so now we're moving on to the Xtreme as far as the X model. Let's see, I'm interested to see if this has any more spin. A little bit of a miss hit there. It actually feels very similar. It actually feels a little softer than the regular. I think it's because it doesn't have that bouncy ball effect. It doesn't have that heavy spring to it. Low spinner, really good. Not as much spin as the regular. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, it just really wants to release firm. It doesn't have that type of rotation I was seeing with the regular model, but it feels softer, it feels lighter. It has a little bit heavier of a click as far as the sound, but not by much. I mean, it's only a slight step above what the regular version had. Yep, so still decent feeling, still decent sounding. It checks the box. It doesn't blow me away, but there's nothing wrong with it. I think plenty of people find it just okay. Let's go ahead and try a nasty cut. Very good. Oh, there it is. Very good amount of spin there. What I'm guessing from this model, based on what I just saw, is that if you hit it really, really well, it's going to spin a lot. If you hit it just okay, it's not. And so I think there's a level of forgiveness there that the regular, you know, Xtreme offers compared to the X. So let's try to get this one to go left. Yep, goes left just like the Tour did. Really good spin. So I think both of these balls have the same amount of spin, really. It's just one is a little more forgiving with it, and the other one is more like you have to really hit it. Yeah, lots of spin. If you hit it right, I would say it has just a little bit more spin than the regular Xtreme, but you really have to be meticulous with this ball. If you're not a great striker of it, it's going to be a little rough. All right, so now testing the X model. You know, after we just had such an amazing feel and performance with the regular, I'm excited, really, to be honest with you. I have high expectations now. Let's see. This is, of course, the mallet putter, real thick. Let's see how the feel is here. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss, everybody. This is just, It's so hard for me. Like I just mentioned, you know, it's when you're used to hitting at a certain speed, this just really jumps off the club. I'm going to try to hit it short. Okay, there we go. I got a little short. I'm starting to get the feel of it a little bit. Again, you know, there's not much difference. It's so soft. It's so buttery. It's so consistent. I mean, it's incredible. It's got to be in the top 3 I've ever tested as far as feel, roll, the sound. I enjoy it. Now, of course, a lot of this comes down to personal preference, but, you know, I've putted out here with 130, 140 golf balls, and I can just tell you, when you get a winner, you know it immediately. You can separate the competition at this point. That's a winner. So I don't mean to be curt on this one with you guys, or hasty, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to just hit this, and more than likely it's just going to be the same amazing 10 out of 10 experience. And if it is, I won't waste your time. I've already told you guys how amazing it is. Yep, beautiful. Still too hard. Okay, so there is a slight difference. Hold on. So the difference is that it is a little louder now with the X model with a bladed putter. So now that we switched to the bladed putter, it definitely has a little bit more of a sound. Some of you might not like that level of loudness. So we'll say that the X is a 9 out of 10 total around on the green, but still, I mean, if you have a mallet putter, you're not even going to notice it. It's only if you have an old style blade or a really, you know, thin model blade that you'll even hear that. It's like I said before, I know a winner when I see one. This is a winner we have on our hands. I really hope that these performance numbers are just as good and they keep this going, because we have potential here. All right, let's talk about total feel throughout all the clubs. As you can guess, it is firmer. But here's the thing. It does have all those elements that the regular Xtreme Tour has in its feel. It's heavy off the club. It kind of has a lot of spring to it. You can tell when you hit it just right, it really rockets off the club. But it just doesn't, it's kind of heavy at first. And there's been a lot of you in the comments that have touched on that as well and said that's one thing you don't like about it is the heaviness. Overall, it's a decent feel, but the problem is we're going in the wrong direction. Because this is firmer now, all those things I didn't like about the regular Xtreme Tour got a little worse. And so, does it feel like it rockets any further off the club? Not really. We'll see the performance numbers in a second and we'll know. Overall, I would say it's probably like a 3 out of 5 stars when it comes to pure hit. Miss hits probably around 2.5, so it gets the bump up to 3 again, or maybe it's a 2, somewhere in there. It's close. It's really close to either a 2 or 3. I don't like how it feels on miss hits, but this is an X model tour ball. It's supposed to be for really, really good golfers who strike the iron pure 7 out of 10 times. That's not me. I can just tell you right now, if I get 7 out of 10 good strikes, I'll take it. And that's how most golfers are. It's hard to get a pure center strike. But this golf ball's for advanced golfers, so I had to hit a couple extra shots. I had to do it, so sometimes it just works out that way. Once you get to the hybrid and once you get to the driver, again, it starts feeling a little better because it's such a high compression that once you get to those woods and you're swinging faster, you do start to go, oh, is this what it's supposed to feel like? But anything on those short irons and mid irons, it just, anything slightly off center, it starts to kind of, you feel it in your hands and it's just kind of icky. So I don't want to count that as a mark on the golf ball because it is designed to be firm. It is designed to be responsive. Again, really responsive in the feedback. It really lets you know exactly where you mishit it. That's what a tour ball is supposed to do. But for an average golfer, which let's be honest, if you're in that category, weekend warrior, average golfer, anywhere between a 7 and a 20 handicap, somewhere in there, there's a lot of golf balls you can play that are going to be more forgiving and probably would shave a couple strokes off your game. But still, let's pretend for a second you are in that X category. You're like, no, I swing fast. I'm tired of paying $60 a month for Pro V1s. Let's go, show me the numbers. Is this my new golf ball? $30 a dozen, Heroes discount. All right, let's go. So 50-yard pitch, backspin we will start with. Now remember, this is supposed to be a more spinning golf ball. 7,008, which, okay, technically, yeah, I got like 22 more RPM. That's basically nothing. That's basically the same. It's a good amount of spin. It's going to check up on the green because of this polyurethane coating around the ball. It really does feel sticky. It's going to stick a green, no problem. I wish it had been a little more, but again, when you get into these firmer golf balls, if you don't compress them exactly right, they don't spin very much. They take a lot of that spin off, which again is another factor of forgiveness that comes into play. So let's go ahead and get into the 9-iron now. Let's see how that is. We're starting off with a smash factor of 1.36, which, by the way, as you can see those numbers next to the numbers that's on, there's two numbers. There's one to the left, there's one to the right. The one to the left is the PXG Xtreme Tour X, the one we're reviewing right now. The one on the right is the previous one, which was just the regular PXG Xtreme Tour. So we're going to go ahead and do a side-by-side comparison. We do this sometimes. As you can see, smash factor 1.36, we got 1.38 with the regular Tour. 148.1 compared to 145.5, so I gained 2.5 yards, nice. 148.9, 2.5 yards. 109.5, a little bit more ball mile per hour speed, which is what it's supposed to do, but now we get 6,273, and that is less spin than the regular Tour, which is what I was afraid of. It did launch a little lower at 21.5, so most of that's pretty consistent, most of that's great. I did get the faster ball speed, I did get the increased distance, but I did not get the increased spin. And a lot of time what happens is, like I just said, if you don't compress the golf ball good enough, you don't get the spin. And I, being 100 mile per hour, that's why I challenged that 95 mile per hour, like I said earlier. I do believe it's going to take more like a 105, 110 probably for this golf ball. Because as you can see with my 9-iron full shots, I'm just not spinning the way that PXG intended the golf ball to be, and like their robotic tests have shown. Next up, we have the 7-iron. We'll start with the smash factor, 1.44, which is a little bit better than the regular. Awesome. 175.6. I gained about 7 yards. I love that. 177.6. I gained 8 yards there. Awesome. 122.7 on your ball mile per hour speed, which is by far the new record. It just blew the regular PXG Xtreme Tour out for ball speed record, so I love to see that. PXG knows ball speed, I'll tell you that. Holy cow, man. 5,426 on your spin, which again, really low spin. 17, it launched mid, the other one launched high. Again, the way I have to sometimes hold a golf ball accountable, right, it's two ways. The first one is I hold it accountable with how it performs based on an average swing speed. Does it do A, B, C, D? How does it react? Is it, all that stuff. But I also have to do it based on what the company is telling me it does, right? Because there's nothing worse than picking up the back of that box, looking at it and going, oh, high flight, I need that. Oh, high spin, I need that. And then you get home and it launches low and it has no spin. That's frustrating because that's false advertising. And it's frustrating. And so I have to sometimes look at it from that point of view too. This golf ball got significantly lower spin, about 450 RPM less than the regular Tour. Now again, is that because I'm not compressing it fully and getting the full amount out of it? Possibly. I do think it takes a faster swing speed. I'm not seeing that increased spin like I was hoping for. All right, now we're getting into the 5 hybrid. This is really cool because these usually compress the heck out of golf balls. 1.43 on your smash factor, 192.4, 194.4. That's way better than the Tour, as you can see right there. 132 mile an hour ball speed. Holy cow, man. It's not a record, but it is really, really, really darn good. 5,422, and there it is. More spin. Okay, 14.8 it launched mid opposed to The other one launched high, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, so okay, again, just to reiterate, not to sound like a broken horse, I'm now using a hybrid. I'm swinging 92 mile an hour with this hybrid, 90 to 92, somewhere in there, getting really good compressions. The hybrids are heavy, you know, it's a thick wood on top. That usually compresses the golf ball so much easier and so much better. And now that I'm actually compressing it and I can feel that compression, I'm getting more spin. I'm getting what the golf ball wants, which again is why the 95 mile per hour, I can firmly say that's no good. It needs to be 105 probably. 105 is probably more where PXG should put that. Last but not least, let's get into the driver. 1.48 smash factor, almost a perfect, that's awesome. 233.6, not quite as much, but pretty close. 243.4, right in line there. 147.7, again, really close. These are like basically neck and neck right there. 25.96 compared to 25.42, really close. And then the PXG, of course, wanted to launch lower, as it has pretty much throughout the whole test, compared to the regular Xtreme Tour. So, yeah, no, that's awesome. I have no issues with that. I think the driver performed phenomenally with both clubs. Really, it just comes down to what your swing speed is. I don't think these golf balls are different enough to where if you're looking at the package and you're going, I think I need more spin, or I think I need less launch, I think the reality is it's going to be based on your swing speed, 100%. Because if you're hitting the ball over 105 mile an hour, if your swing speed's over 105 with the driver, excuse me, you're probably going to want the lower launch. I mean, you just are. You don't want the high launch, and you don't want to spin super high on you. It's going to boil down to, if you're over 105, the X model, if you're into the PXG and you're looking into it. If you're under 105, I would go with the regular Tour. Other than that, they're actually very close on a lot of their numbers. They're very close, except for really some ball speed stuff, but that comes with the X model a lot of the time. All right, real quick, I want to touch on the durability before I get into my final thoughts. Just like the regular PXG Xtreme Tour, really good. I mean, if you look at it here, there's a couple of dirt spots. You know, there's a couple spots I couldn't really, clean off. That's from the sticky residue on the ball that measures the spin. But it's really in pristine condition still. And what I love the most is if you feel the golf ball, I mean, if you really close your eyes and feel it, you just can't feel any abrasions, any cuts, any disparities in the polyurethane coating. You know, none of it's kind of rubbed off a little bit. Like it feels intact. If you handed this to somebody and they had their eyes closed, they'd probably still think it was a new ball. That means I have to give it a 10 out of 10. So again, both PXG golf balls are really durable. I did play them on the course a little bit as well, and boy, I hit one straight off a tree the other day. I mean, hit a hybrid, and I mean straight up off a tree, came back and rolled at my feet. Still held up really well. So I gotta say, these are phenomenal when it comes to durability. Great job, PXG, on that. All right, so final thoughts. X model golf balls are always weird when I test them because I know they're not for me, and so I have to kind of approach it like, hey, obviously it's not going to get a recommendation for average golfers because it's not for average golfers, and PXG is pretty clear about that. But if you stuck around this long, I appreciate it, and you're one of those guys who legit is like, no, I play Pro V1, I play Pro V1X, I swing 110 mile an hour, I'm just tired of paying $60 a dozen. That's outrageous, man. Well, we believe you, we agree with you, and this is a really great alternative. I mean, it really is. Holy cow. PXG is continuing to make improvements and you got to remember, this is the first time they released this X model. There's going to be mistakes, and really, I didn't see that many. I mean, there's a couple little tweaks, but for being a brand new golf ball on the market, this is only their sophomore effort from their tour. I'm super impressed. I really am. I'm super impressed. I think the ball speed's phenomenal. I wish I'd gotten a little more spin, but I just couldn't compress it. I'm not a fan of the feel, but again, it's a responsive tour. It's someone who is a really good master craftsman with the golf club, someone who is bending shots and working on all kinds of stuff I don't even know about. I'm just trying to get the ball to go somewhere in that little short green area where the flag is. Totally different. We're playing two different games, and so if you are someone who is a really good golfer, I can't think of too many golf balls that just really stand out. I mean, I know the Bridgestone lineup is up there, but this being a golf ball that, Bridgestone's been making golf balls for dozens of years. This one, PXG is just trying to still get their feet wet in the market, and they're doing a phenomenal job. And if you're wondering if it's worth your time, it is. It is. So take advantage of the buy two, get one. I don't know how long they're going to run that promotion, but hopefully forever. You know what I mean? And especially if you are a hero, thank you. I appreciate it. If you're a first responder, if you're a teacher, if you're a veteran, thank you so much. And also, PXG thanks you too, and they want to thank you by giving you some pretty hefty discounts. So take advantage of those as well. $30 a dozen, you can't beat it. Guys, as always, keep watching, keep saving, keep learning. Until next time.